Not all true crime cases are centered around missing persons or tragic deaths. In March of 1990, the world's largest unsolved art theft occurred at the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum in Boston. The case remains an open investigation by the FBI, and the museum still offers a $10 million reward for information leading to the return of the art. In the early hours of March 18th, two men dressed as police officers drove to the side entrance of the museum. They rang the buzzer at the door, explaining to the security guard through the intercom that they were investigating a disturbance. Rick Abbott, a 23-year-old guard, observed them on closed-circuit TV and believed them to be police. It was 1:24 a.m. when he admitted them to the museum. Abbott and Hestrand, the only other guard on duty, were handcuffed. Duct tape was wrapped around their heads and eyes, and they were secured in the basement. Infrared motion detectors tracked the thieves as they moved through the museum. In the Dutch room, they smashed an alarm sensor and cut the canvases of two Rembrandt paintings from their frames. They also removed Flink's Landscape with Obelisk and Vermeer's The Concert, along with an ancient Chinese beaker from the Shang dynasty. From the short gallery, they took an eagle finial atop a Napoleonic flag, which they may have believed was gold, as well as 5 Degas sketches. From the blue room on the first floor, they stole a painting by Manet. In the security director's office, they took the video cassettes that had recorded their entrance on closed-circuit TV and the data printouts from the motion-detecting equipment, but they left behind a hard drive that had captured the same information. They carried the stolen art to their waiting car in 2 trips. The entire robbery lasted 81 minutes. The security guards were discovered later that morning. A total of 13 art pieces were stolen. By the year 2025, the value of the combined art is estimated to be between $500 million and $1 billion. While some of the works were valuable, other more valuable works were left behind, puzzling authorities. This, and the rough treatment displayed by the thieves, led police to believe they were not art experts or commissioned for the heist. In cutting the paintings and likely rolling them up for transport, these precious artworks could easily have been damaged. Isabella Stewart Gardner had decreed that nothing in her art collection would ever be removed, so the empty frames of the stolen paintings remain hanging in the museum. A $10 million reward for information leading to their return is still valid, but the statute of limitations for prosecuting the perpetrators expired in 1995. No one has ever been arrested for the crime, and none of the works have ever been recovered. Fingerprints and footprints at the scene could not be differentiated between museum employees and possible suspects. In the years since the theft, some of the evidence has been lost. Rick Abbott, the security guard who let the two men into the building, became a suspect. He died in 2024 and always maintained his innocence. Whitey Bulger, a Boston crime boss, was also a suspect. He had ties to the Irish Republican Army, but the FBI investigation failed to tie him to the theft. Brian McDevitt was a con man from Boston who had tried to rob another art gallery dressed as a FedEx driver. He refused a polygraph test, and his fingerprints didn't match any evidence. He died in 2004. The FBI was confident the Boston Mafia was involved and believed the stolen art had been transported. In 2015, the FBI stated that they believed the two thieves were deceased, but did not identify them. David Turner and Bobby Donati, 2 other gangsters, were suspected to have been involved. Donati was murdered a year after the theft. Maryam and Denise will channel this case to get answers.
Welcome. Hi, guys.
Hey.
So we're back with a new episode of True Crime Psychic Guy. We will air live twice a month. So if you have a case you would like us to investigate, please let us know in the comments. So my name's Maryam. I'm a psychic medium. We have Denise. Hi, Denise. Also
Hello.
a psychic medium. And Harlow. We would not have a show without Harlow. It's that simply put. Harlow is the researcher and does all the hard stuff. So this case tonight is really interesting because, first off, we wanted to kind of take a little breather from, the painfulness of the abductions and, young kids and all of that, and just maybe have a little fun just for one night, maybe.
A little lightheartedness.
Something a little bit lighter. No one here was hurt. So this is the world's largest and still unsolved art theft, which occurred in 1990 at the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum in Boston. 2 men were dressed as police, entered and stole 13 works of art. The combined value of the pieces is estimated today at $500 million to $1 billion. No arrests were ever made and none of the art ever recovered. It's still an open FBI investigation, and the museum still offers a $1 million reward for information leading to the art. Oh my God, we could split that between the 3 of us.
I forget the zero. It's actually a $10 million reward.
Okay, great.
Even better.
Even better. We could pay off a couple bills with that.
Yeah,
Yep.
and did some houses and I don't know, so many things.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so no pressure, but let's see if we can get this one right. All right, so who do we have in the comments? Ooh, let's turn the comments on so we can see them, please.
Okay. We have Anita and Patricia and Katie Paranormal and Violet.
Oh, hi, guys.
Hey.
Okay, so let's pull this up and do this, but not that. I want to do something else. Hang on. I think I want to do that. Okay, so I'm going to pull up the pictures on my phone here.
Okay.
Denise,
Yes.
you were saying it's 105 there today?
104. So it's balmy for Arizona.
Balmy. It's kind of cooling off for you, though.
It is actually, like I was saying, I was actually in South Dakota last week and we had 3 whole days of rain, which was glorious.
Oh, wow.
I know most other people don't think that, but I was just like, ah. But yeah, it's normally we're like 110 or above consistently this time of year. And we've actually had some like high 90s even over the weekend. So it was really quite nice.
Oh, a really cool summer.
Yeah, compared to what they normally are. Yes.
I know, Harlow, for us, it hasn't been that, it hasn't been that hot for me. Has it been for you?
I mean, it's still hot, but it's not terrible.
Yeah, totally manageable.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I got to figure this out, guys. So stop talking.
There's a lot of people to look at there for you.
All right, tell me. Okay. Rick, Rick was the security guard.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, that poor guy. They took pictures of him before they unraveled him.
Yes, they did.
He must have been like, are you guys kidding? I mean, I understand why they did, but still. Whitey.
That looks really, brutal, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean, he was just probably grateful that he was alive.
Yes, considering, they had mob ties. I mean, it would have been easy to.
Well, that's the question. Was the mob involved? The FBI suspected that they were.
Okay. Whitey Bulger.
Mm-hmm.
That name is like from the 30s. Isn't it?
I know, right?
Well, see, that's an interesting thing because Anita and I were watching the documentary and so much of we kept looking at each other like the 90s. And it seemed like it was really behind the times.
Mm-hmm.
They were talking about a lot of heroin use in the area in Boston. And the guys had this long hair and were like hippies. But it was the 90s.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's so strange because, the 90s were not
that I know of, but
yeah, no. And even these photos, they don't look like they're from the 90s. They look like they're
different areas.
Security guy, but he looks like he got stuck in the 80s.
That's being kind.
All right, let me see. I'm going to go back to this. Okay, one sec. I got to do dog duty really quick. You want to go in? Go ahead.
So I'm looking at like I still feel like the art is rolled up and stored somewhere.
You think hasn't been destroyed?
Mm-mm.
I agree.
I feel like that I'm seeing the you know how they have those tubes that they would put like posters in. I know this is a little more than a poster, but you know, that's what I'm seeing them in, is some kind of cylinder like that.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. I agree that thank you, a good jumping off point. I agree that they are still intact and they feel like they are in the same location they were left at the night that they did this. And
then the beaker that they took, that I'm getting a sense that that wasn't part of the original plan. That the beaker was one of those things they were like, oh, that's really cool, I'm going to grab that. Because they really went in there for the art, because that was easier to take, whereas this beaker was a much more obviously solid thing and probably heavy to take. Because it's so unique.
So were these thieves art experts? Did they know anything about art?
no, they were hired guns and they were cheap labor, which was foolish because mistakes were made. It was a multi process uh, burglary. They had the guys at the front end, which were kind of like cheap labor. They had them go in, they were disposable, do the deed, and then they handed everything off. And then they had experienced people take and move to the next step with it. I feel like there was 3 phases. So even if you were to, this is what made it difficult, but also why it made it such a brilliant heist. Even if you caught the guys that took the paintings, they have no ties to who they passed the paintings off to, and they genuinely had no information on where it went, because the person that hired them did it all by phone. There was nothing in writing. They don't even know. All they know is the person that they spoke to on the phone. They don't know who he is, where he's from. He wired them money or gave them cash. And it was all, hang on.
I kind of feel like it was like what came to my mind, and this is going to sound crazy, but remember in 101 Dalmatians, and they hired those bumbling fools to kidnap the dogs?
Yes.
It's kind of like that. Like these two were like bumbling fools. And I agree that it had to do with, they were cheap labor, but yet they were presentable enough to come across as police officers. They didn't look dated or rough, or you know what I mean. They really, and which is why the security guard let them in, because it was a weird time for somebody to just show up. And you know, technology in the 90s isn't what it is now, so it would be easy to not see real clear through those cameras, I think.
Was the security guard involved at all? Did
No.
he like, okay.
Okay, so kind of adding on to what Denise was saying. So there was so if we look at the 3 parts, it almost doesn't matter who did the actual theft. So who was involved in step 2 and step 3? Step 3 is a warehouse on or by water. I'm feeling like almost I'm hearing Japan. I'm hearing the Orient. And they are all white American men that did it. I'm not sure yet if it's tied to the mob. We'll get there in a sec, but everything's overseas and it's in a locker on the water in Japan. And why did they choose Japan? I don't know yet. How did they get all of this stuff there? Private plane.
That's what I heard. I was going to say this private jet.
But I also feel like there was a lot that went underneath the plane, whether that was a private plane or a commercial plane, a lot went underneath and nothing was flagged. Nothing about it was suspicious. I'm just trying to tap into the second and third wave. So the second wave is men in suits, men at desks, smokers. It feels right now, it feels like, I mean, I guess either, no matter how you, like, I want to say that, it feels like a mob mentality, but I'm not totally there yet, as much as it's an organized group. And maybe Denise will pick up on something else, or the more we dig in, we'll find that it is the mob. But right now I just feel an organized group, and they move not just paintings, what their business is moving antiques.
Yes.
And it's antique furniture. And that's the front. That's their front. And then they move the theft the high-end theft moves behind that business. I'm feeling Italian. I think, Denise, are you feeling mob?
There's some part of that there because they're behind because like the legitimate business is the front. And so they have workers that are paid to do these things, like you said. And then the where the money really is in the stolen stuff. And I feel like they had it all squared away. And the reason they got away with it, because it was wedged into something else they moved and they didn't suspect anything. So almost like they were moving like a chest or a dresser or something like that. And because you remember when old furniture was made, the drawers were all solid all the way through. So if you pulled the drawer out, you didn't see anything, so it's kind of like they layered it in there somehow. So they didn't even see what was underneath, kind of thing. It's kind of weird because there's like, I want to say hollow spots in there, but it wasn't really hollow. They moved it in something because that's how they got it without anybody noticing. But I think when it got to the last part, whoever was supposed to pick it up never did. I think there was a death in there. And not a murder, but like a death or something occurred and nobody knew really where these paintings actually went.
So many questions. Let's start with some of the easier ones. Were the thieves told specific artwork to take?
I think so. On some of them. I think they took liberty on some of the other stuff because they got greedy. And I think they thought they would be able to take something for themselves and end up getting paid more than what they were being paid. Because like you said, they were the cheap labor. So even though they got paid really like a good amount of money, they wanted more.
That would explain, well, no, there were a few, I should say, more valuable paintings left behind that they didn't take. So I was curious.
So I feel okay. So here's how, I'm going to go back a little bit to help unwind what I'm seeing, and then you can tell me if then you can redirect me. So, the store is an antique store. The men work in the back of the antique store, and they're at desks, and they have cigarettes, and they they do high volume or high value theft regularly. And so they regularly hire different guys. They don't circulate through the same hires. And so they typically hire young guys who are looking to break into. This is where I think it does keep seeming to lead back to some sort of mob mentality, because it feels like these are young guys wanting to be a part of some sort of group, which is pushing me to think mob, because to be a part of it is prestigious. And so, but they hire different guys all the time. And that's done on purpose, obviously. So the guys that they hired to do this had no idea about artwork, were told what to take. And yes, to add to that, everything what Denise said, there was this kind of, they were having a blast. They were like, well, this is easy. We're in here. Let's just stay in here and do stuff. And, and so there was this greediness, right? I want to see if I can help get clarity on the second and third wave. So in a locker, on the water, on this store, it's a storage unit, that like storage warehouse that's on the water. Feels like Japan, the Orient, somewhere there. And I feel like everything made it there and is still there. The reason why no one has touched it or gone there is because it feels like the original members of this group have dismantled. And it's not that they don't know it's there. It's that there's a hesitation to deal with it. Maybe because it will set off some red flags, maybe because they've been tipped off that someone might know. I don't know. Okay, so then the second wave are the ones that send it. Who's the third wave? The third wave are the ones that travel with it, transport it. So there's 1, 2, and 3. Only the second wave is also the masterminds behind it. So the first wave is the young kids that are hired. Mm-hmm. The second wave is the masterminds behind it. They're pulling everything together, organizing, getting it ready, sending it off. The third wave are completely different individuals with planes not connected to them that take it and sent it off. The people involved, the masterminds behind it, this is where Denise said there was a death. Yes, I agree. And that also, there's 2 other prevalent gentlemen. And I feel like they also, for some reason, have backed off of all of this. And they know that if they can't do anything with this art because they would just get caught. Mm-hmm. So it's just going to sit there and rot, basically.
Because I keep feeling like I'm still not convinced that it's the mob either. I just keep like hearing crime ring. Like it's just like they do this all the time, but not necessarily the mob. I don't know. I don't know why, because I mean, clearly there's mob connections here. Carlo, is the Merlino gang, was that a known mob gang? Okay.
Yes. Okay. In Philadelphia.
Okay.
I think the reason why we're not convinced it's the mob is because I don't think it was the mob. I think this is just a group of men that do this, and it's the same tight knit group that do it regularly. But they're very, very well respected in the community. But I'm not necessarily, when I say community, I don't necessarily mean the community that they live in, maybe more so the community they work in. There's a respect that's there, which is why I keep feeling these men that they hire want to work with them. Like there's a known connection and they want to be a part of it for some reason.
Mhm. I actually, with this gang, I feel like they were trying to make their way in to being a crime ring to rival some of the other ones. And they, like you said, there was all this planning, but somewhere along the line, they kind of like dropped the ball almost, which is why the art is stuck somewhere, you know. And I know the security guard passed away, and then didn't a couple of other people die?
Most of the people associated with the case have passed.
Okay.
Most of the mobsters have.
And I think that's why they're not going to be able to find it. I think if they find it, it's going to be because somebody goes in there and stumbles upon it. It's like the people that actually knew where it was, I don't think they're alive anymore. And I don't think they know where, nobody else knows where it is.
Want to take some questions?
Yeah. I think though, I'm for a moment, I'm going to counteract that a tiny bit. I feel like someone is alive and does know. I don't feel like those pieces are lost. Like I feel like whoever was involved always knew they're where they wanted them to be and where they wanted it. I just feel like they know that if they can't touch it, no one can touch it. They can't make any money off it. They can't do anything with it because it'll red flag them. And
do you get a sense? I'm going to ask you a question. Do you have a sense that they wanted to get money from it, or do you feel like they just did this to see if they could do it?
Or were they getting them for a private collector? I mean, they still would have been paid, of course, but
right.
To me, to answer both those questions, this feels like a group of men that do this for a living and regularly. So the purpose, the end game was money for them. So to answer the question, was their money going to come from selling the paintings, or did a outside party, like you were saying, Harlow, hire them for something else, which feels more right to me because I don't feel like anyone has any direct connection. Like I don't feel like the people that I know where it's at care. Like this is, you know what I mean?
What you're getting kind of conflicts with a little bit that is known. So let's ask a couple questions that the people have here first before I kind of trying to figure out what to ask next. Anita asked, do you sense any collusion on the part of anyone associated with the museum?
I'll let Maryam answer first.
You can, if you want, you can go for it. I'm just looking at pictures.
I got that there was a female that gave information to the people. Like she didn't let them in, but she said, okay, this is who works at this time. This is the person that you can get by. This is this, this is this. That's what I get from that.
That's what I wondered. That was my thought.
Yeah. I think there was an inside person saying, okay, this is this, go at this time. You know what I mean? Because she knew the ins and outs of everything. And I don't like they didn't know she was connected to anybody. Like she got paid to do this too, but not much, but she got paid also to do this. Like, it's almost like she was planted there.
I felt there was an opening there too. I felt there was an opening there. And yeah, I almost feel like it was a 16-year-old volunteer that was a family member of someone involved in all this and didn't know didn't really know that she was giving away information.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Based on the security of the museum at the time, it's totally believable. They had 2 guards for that huge building with those incredibly expensive and valuable paintings.
Mm-hmm.
The guards were 23 and 25 and, long hair, hippies. They were doing drugs. And it's just a shame that had to happen before security was beefed up.
I get this, like, it's because the museum had never had a lot of interest, you know what I mean? And so they just really didn't think anybody would ever, because it was a private collection on display. And I'm almost, sorry, something's coming up. My nose is itchy. And it's almost like, I don't know. Do you feel like there was a family member of hers that was involved?
Yeah, I feel like she was like a daughter or niece or a cousin that they had go volunteer her time there for school or for whatever.
Right.
She has no idea. And she was the one that innocently gave out information.
Do you think she was related to Isabella's family, or do you think she was related? No. Okay.
She was related to the thieves, the masterminds behind it.
Okay. Yeah, because I still feel like, and like you, I agree. She didn't know she was giving quote unquote trade secrets away. You know what I mean? She was just like, oh yeah. It was almost like they would have a casual conversation with her, like, hey, how was your day? What did you do? And she'd be like, oh, well, this is happened, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Because like you said, Harlow, to have that amount of value, not really more secure, was kind of a big opening.
Mm-hmm.
Harlow, what is the? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
And Patricia asked, "Will any of the art be recovered?"
Yeah, once that warehouse is located by accident, it will be.
Mm-hmm. I feel like that warehouse it's there. People know it's there, but nobody's been in there for years and years and years, and it's almost not until they're going to go to redevelop that area kind of thing that they will find it at that point.
But it's also just private storage units. So there's no reason for anyone to be going in there. There's no reason for anything to be suspicious or odd. It's just private. Like, it's almost like it's in your face, it's if you knew where to look.
Mm-hmm.
And though, to your point about the antiques, a lot of old desks and things did have secret drawers, and that was really common for the old days. A lot of antique furniture has that, so that's a possibility.
Yeah, and people, if you don't know anything about antiques, you wouldn't, you might through the drawers, but you're not going to really start knocking around looking for secret compartments, because you wouldn't even think that, because nowadays furniture, you open up the drawer and it goes all the way down.
But I don't feel like the paintings are even hidden inside antique furniture in the storage units.
No, not anymore. I think that's how they got it.
Yeah.
And I think they put them in that stuff, and then when they got where they were, then they took it out and put it in the warehouse. That's how I think they moved it, which is why they were able to move it without any interference.
Mm-hmm. Can you get a bead on individual pieces enough to know that they're all there together, or can you feel if any of them are not there? There were 13 pieces taken from that museum. All paintings except for 2 pieces.
This bird thing, statue, what is that?
It's a finial. It goes on like on top of a flag. It was bronze, but they may have thought it was gold.
I don't think that's in there.
Yeah, it really wasn't worth anything. Which was why, the authorities were like, what the heck did they take this for?
And this cup, I don't think is there.
No. Well, that's why I think those two things, I feel like those two things were like an afterthought.
Yeah, that the Shang Dynasty beaker had historical value, but not monetarily.
Right.
And same with this other, what's this? This one?
That's the beaker.
Yeah.
I don't think that's in there either.
Yeah. I feel like those two pieces they grabbed after they took the artwork because they didn't know really what they were doing or what value, not really. I think they took those things thinking they had value and realized that they didn't. I think they were probably like in somebody's attic somewhere, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like collecting dust, like, oh, where's this thing come from,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
this one is not in there. It's in someone's house.
It's a Rembrandt.
It's actually hanging on someone's wall.
Yeah.
And they're not, it's in a home that is like not very kind of middle class, and
people don't know it's real.
Yeah,
they probably just think it's a print.
Yeah.
It's called like Lady and Gentleman in Black. It's Rembrandt.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Because I think there are copies of that, aren't there?
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah. So I think whoever has that now, they have no idea they're sitting on a gold mine.
Wow. Okay, so hone in.
I think the person that does have this painting they
know.
Yeah, it's been passed down. Like they didn't just randomly pick it up because
is it in the United States?
Yes. Because there was there's certain pieces were sent, the bulk of them were sent out to this warehouse, and they had intention of doing something with it at that point. Right around the first few months after all this happened, they had a plan to do something with them that would translate into money funding for, they would, it feels like, there was a being able to sell them overseas, sell them outside of the United States. And that didn't happen. Just kind of putting dots together, maybe it's like where Denise felt that death happened and that broke communication. I don't know, but it didn't happen, which is why they're just sitting there. And which is why everything has just kind of disappeared and dissolved. This one piece that I pointed out, though, where I said it's in someone's house, they kept the masterminds, the main gentleman I keep seeing, he kept it for himself. And it's been passed down to family members. It's still in his family. I don't even know, though, that family members, I feel like family members think it's what do you call it? It's a fable, or, like where it actually came from. Like, oh yeah, Uncle so-and-so says that blah, 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 but it's not, because you know what I'm saying?
Okay, so now you need to hone in on where it is.
Yeah.
Got to work towards that reward now. What state is it in?
I feel like it's in Boston.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say it's still on the East Coast. It is over. Wow. It is in the East Coast. It's over there.
Okay.
And because that makes total sense, because it's kind of like the old story of, the story that goes around with, why do you cut the end off the ham? And everybody's like, well, my mom did, my grandmother did, my great grandmother did, and nobody really knows why. And it turns out that it was, because the ham was too big for the pan, right? So it's kind of that same thing. It's like you're saying, it's like nobody really. They're like, oh yeah, great grandpa, blah, blah, or whatever, or grandpa or whatever. And it's just kind of, whatever. He was old, or what, that kind of thing.
It's can really quick, Harlow. Can I say it's in
go
a
ahead.
home that's like there's 2 stories. Does that help?
Yeah.
um, it,
Go
but
for it.
it's in a row of homes where they all look the same. Sort of like walk-ups. Thinner, taller, middle class. There's a park, it feels like, either directly across the street or maybe off to the right. This family that has it is related to one of the masterminds, but the mastermind has passed. But they don't again, they are innocent bystanders to all this. The mastermind feels like, I go to Italian, which doesn't narrow it down, I know. And Italian, an antique store in Boston.
Can you see the outside of the house?
Brown, some white, I want to use the word awning, but like smaller, like not like maybe white around a window. There's not a lot of white, but it feels like, it looks like not like a log cabin, but like wood, or more than I was going to say more than it's brick, but then it's not brick. I'm arguing with someone over this. I don't know who. Doesn't look or feel brick to me.
Is it stone?
It feels like wood. It just feels like wood. In Boston, park. And is there an ice skating rink nearby? There may be.
Okay. What's the name of the street? You can do it.
I don't like you. You look at, she's like a mom, like, you can do this. You're going to finish your homework.
That's right.
Before you get to go out and play.
I
asked you for the outside of the house, and you saw the outside of the house. So if you look down, maybe you can see what street it's on.
Bruce is going to pop his head in and go, yep, no dessert tonight until you get this right.
That's right.
Okay. Ask again, please.
So you're on the outside of the house.
Okay.
Can you look in the neighborhood and see the name of the street?
Forest, for F, fall, for foreign trees, something like that. It's like I feel seeing like an F and an R, a Y, a T, O. I don't know what order. Harlow really wants that 10 mil.
You got to practice here.
I know.
That's
you're
what
right.
we're here for.
I feel like it's two street signs.
Okay.
Like one's a number and one's a word.
What's the number?
I think the number is 4.
That would go with the forest, or what's the word you're saying?
Like Rory or blah blah. Like I'd say I can.
All right, we'll take psychic out of our titles in just a minute. Hold on.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so there's some brick on this house, red brick.
Okay.
Some.
Does it have a chimney?
Yes.
Yes.
Are there a lot of windows in the front?
4. 2.
What kind of does it have a?
It may be that it's 2 that are kind of like,
Yeah.
2 above and 2 below.
Right.
Like the upstairs and the downstairs.
Do you
well,
just?
I'm not seeing 4 on, like, I'm like, it feels like one long one that may be two, maybe two on each side, maybe,
Okay.
but not side by side. It's
Is
like
there-
it's the basement. The basement has windows. The
Okay.
basement has windows. The house has maybe one or like front door, window. Basement has windows.
There's windows also. Okay.
Mhm.
How about, are there steps leading up to it, or is there a
Yes.
porch? What do you
Yes.
see there?
And with a porch, yes. It feels like it may be one of those, like a townhouse walk up. So there may be a second house connected to it.
Mm.
Mhm. Mhm.
Does it have
Shared.
number? Does it? Can you see numbers on it?
I just keep getting a lot of fours.
Okay.
4, 3, 4, 2, 1, but there's only 3 numbers.
Okay.
I think that's the unit number, because I think it's maybe a townhouse or a walk up. It feels like maybe that's the unit number, because the house number is 4 digits, because it's got to be. It can't just be like it's got to be a 4 digit, address. So I think I'm seeing the unit number.
What kind of a roof does it have?
It goes like this.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
But is it, what kind of material is used for the roof? What color is it?
That's where I'm seeing red brick.
Ah.
But not for the roof. The roof has like is it like shingle type things? Like, do you guys know what you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it's shingles. It's like it's not tiles or anything like that. It's shingles.
Layered shingles.
Layered shingles.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm getting like a sense of it's kind of got a reddish tint in the shingles.
Yeah, for sure. And there's blue somewhere on there, a dark blue. Not on the roof, on the house. There's a dark blue, small, a little small.
Okay. Is there a car in the driveway?
There's no driveway.
There's not.
There's not. There's
Interesting.
not.
So there would be parking area somewhere to the side or behind.
Parking in front.
And on the street.
On the
It's
street?
street parking. It's street parking.
Okay, that's like all I can think of. And nobody in the you guys should be helping me ask questions here. Benno says, I keep getting 134 in my mind. I'm not a psychic normally.
Yeah. 134. Those are, yeah, me too.
And I keep seeing the numbers going down like this.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they're angled?
Mm-hmm.
Angled house numbers or
Yeah,
unit
it's like
number.
1, 2, or 1, 3, 4. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that.
Yellow.
But I definitely see what you see as far as
Okay.
it's like a townhouse where there's a common wall.
Anita is asking, is it Beacon Hill?
Do we have a picture of that, Anita? Benno says there's a yellow Pinto down the street. Oh, like Beacon Hill, see photo. She sent a photo.
Okay.
Oh, where though?
Okay, let me send this to you.
Oh,
What's everyone looking at?
I just Googled it.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to text this to you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. One question I did have is if you felt anything from any of the pictures of the mob members.
Yeah, that looks like yeah, but those almost feel a little too high end.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Yeah, that's got a lot of stairs out front and a white tree, red doors. You didn't mention any of that.
Is this George Reisfelder still alive?
No.
I'm gonna see if I can image 765. 767.
Do you
I'm
have
gonna
that
see if I can
picture?
share it.
Yeah, I
Sorry, go
sent
ahead.
it to her. She has it. Yeah.
Because I think he was the brains of the operation, even though he looks like a doof.
He died of a cocaine overdose or heroin. I forget which one.
Oh, okay.
This is the picture that Anita sent.
Correct.
And this is the one we're saying that, yes, but that's the style house. Yes, but that's too high end
Okay.
for it to be specifically that neighborhood.
It could be in the vicinity, though.
That's what the neighborhood looks like. But the neighborhood I'm seeing doesn't have trees like that. The trees are very sparse. And the homes are older and it's just more lived in. What were you guys asking? What were you asking Denise about who?
There's this other gentleman. Harlow sent these two pictures separate from the original ones.
Okay.
And his name is, there's David Turner and George Reisfelder.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let me look.
And I get there's something with this George dude.
Oh yeah.
I felt like he could have been one of the thieves. Because he kind of looks like the police sketch, too. One of the people in the police sketch.
Okay.
And so does Turner.
Turner for me feels like one of the thieves. George. I mean, yeah, but it threw me when you said he looks like one of the guys in the sketch. You said Harlow, because my immediate feeling was no, he's too smart. But you couldn't have sent David in if David is one. I don't know if David is one of them. David couldn't have done that alone, and you couldn't have had two people. No offense to David, but with David's brain skill set, you need someone to lead David.
Yeah, well, they were definitely two people.
And George, if these two were the thieves, if George is smart enough and would have led the two, so I could see that. But I do see George as being not putting himself in that type of position. But it could be that this picture that you sent me like later in life with him?
Of which one? George or
George?
David. Sorta. Not too much because he didn't live much long after that.
Yeah.
He could have been the one involved. He could have. Yeah. Okay.
Because he died. He's the one who died of the drug overdose.
Correct.
I could see. Yeah. I mean, you were saying, Denise, you felt that you felt like for sure it was
like he was.
him?
Yeah. Like he was the brain. He like kind of to your point. Like if these guys those two were the thieves, he was the brains of the two of them.
Yes, 100%. I agree with that.
Whether he was the brains of the whole operation or not, but he was the one who's like, okay, David, you do this, and he didn't call him that. He actually had he actually called him something else. Like he had like some, because these two didn't actually really know each other.
No, they didn't.
And he was like, he was like, he had some kind of dopey nickname for this David dude because he felt like he was kind of slow. I hate to say that, but he was just like, he wasn't real bright. So he would just make fun of him kind of thing. But he was a good, because he wanted to be a part of whatever this was going on. He was good at following directions.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I agree.
I need to send another picture of a slightly different area. Charlestown.
Yeah, I'm going to put it up here. One sec. Yeah, I agree with you, Denise. I agree 100%. He wasn't the mastermind that I saw sitting at the desk, but mastermind when it came to going in and actually stealing. I agree. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we're pretty much at an hour, but I wanted to touch on the reason that the FBI thought the mob was involved. And that's because they kind of followed the trail and they were just a little bit behind. These paintings kept being moved around from what they were able to determine. Like they went to one place, they got a tip, and they to one of the mobsters' houses. I think there was a shed in the back, and they found this new hidden depression in the shed, and they opened it up, but nothing was there. Like they had just missed it. There was another one of the mobsters who his sister was over and helped him hang that one little painting that was stolen. She identified it as that small painting that was taken. And a lot of things like that happened where they were just like behind. And there was another case, I think it was a journalist who was talking to one of the mobsters and trying to get them to prove that they actually knew where the paintings were. And he arranged for this rendezvous at this abandoned warehouse. And the guy pulled out a tube and pulled out one of the Rembrandts. And the thing about that is these paintings have to be temperature controlled. They're really old paintings, and you don't take care of them. They crack easily. So if they were in a tube, they were most likely damaged. So there's a lot to take into consideration with them. But if they made it to Japan, they could have been taken care of, just depending on how long it took for them to get there.
So I feel like when I hear you say that, I still feel like I still stick to what I felt, is that some are here and most of them are over. And then you said the sister has one on her wall or had one or something?
It was her brother. He was one of the mobsters. Might even have been George. I can't remember for sure. But he asked her to help him hang, and it was the small Manet, I believe, that was taken. And she correctly identified it and described it. But then she didn't know whatever happened to it after that. And he died. So we have no idea where it went. The extremely valuable one, Vermeer, I should say, he'd only painted like 35 paintings his whole career. We never heard anything about that. So it's totally feasible that went overseas to some private collector.
Which one is that one?
The one, I don't know if I labeled them, Vermeer, the painting.
What does it look like?
Is that, hold on a sec. That's called The Concert. If I titled them. It was worth even more than the Rembrandts.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But they never had any inkling of what happened to that one.
Which one is it in this? Because you sent me this. That's what I've been looking at.
Oh, I didn't send you the individual pictures.
That's okay. I don't need them.
I think it's...
Is it the one that kind of looks like a pencil drawing?
No, those are the Degas. The Degas sketches.
The Concert sort of seems like, it doesn't matter. I mean, I don't really need that 10 million.
It's fascinating.
Okay, this is another.
Oh, never mind. I'm not getting the 10 million. Who cares?
I give up. I'm done with this.
I tried to hone you guys in. You did pretty good.
Okay, so this is another. This is what someone. This is I would say this is more similar to what we were seeing.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it was like there's a park there. I think there's an ice skating rink around there. So there's other.
That's something to go by.
I would say that it sounds like we're picking up on the mob. It sounds like we are, right? Because it's a group of men, very well dressed, very well organized.
I'm not entirely convinced it's the Italian mafia. I think there were back in the East Coast, there was a lot of different mobs. There was the Irish mobs, there was the Italians, there was a lot of different ones. And I think that there was definitely a mob. I'm not getting necessarily that it was the Italian mob, but I could be wrong, but I definitely agree that there's some kind of gang
organized
mob, organized.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. I'm with you on that. The concert, she sent me a picture of the concert, this one. I don't feel like that's in the United States.
That's extremely rare.
Yeah, that one's not. I agree. Yeah, and some of them, like I
Okay.
agree. Like some of them are, and some of them aren't. And I do feel like, unfortunately, when they do find them, they aren't going to be in great condition because they've just been, even if they're in a climate controlled environment, it's not the proper environment for them to have been in.
Mm-hmm. That was kind of the speculation, is if they got to be so damaged, there was no way they were going to get any money out of them. And so
Yeah.
some people thought maybe they even destroyed them. Anita said that Charlestown picture in
Mhm.
Boston, it has a skating rink nearby.
Shut up.
There you go.
Cha-ching.
We're gonna just walk up and down the street, start knocking on doors. Which house has 134?
Painting.
And
It
yeah,
might be worth a plane ticket.
that's the one Rembrandt.
Okay, so somebody call the cops over there and tell them what we said.
Yeah. Say, look, we found it.
I will give you 100 grand of it.
That's pretty close.
Yeah.
You'll be rich. I would be rich. I wouldn't share it with anybody.
Not even Oliver.
Maybe Oliver, he'd get some new toys.
He
Yeah.
gets some new toys.
I'll give you guys each $500.
and Oliver will get a new Thunder jacket and new toys.
Totally. Harlow's like, I'm the one that we would split it evenly between the three of us. And then our core followers would each get 100 grand.
We might have
I
to
think
give Anita a cut.
Anita for sure would get $50.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll give Anita 200 grand.
Yeah, because Anita gets drugged through all of this, whether she wants to or not.
That's true. So she's probably earned 300 or 400 grand.
She's not even home tonight, so she's doing this from somewhere else.
Okay, so 300,000.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it up there. Although if it cuts into my cut, you're out.
That's Arlo's like, just to be clear, mine's here. You do what you want for Anita. Oh, that is funny. Anita Rembrandt. What? Oh, that's interesting.
That was
Benno?
Oh yeah. What happened to the other Rembrandt? That's the question. That one's worth a little more.
Okay, guys.
That may be
Well, I do
entertaining.
think, unfortunately, I do think that one Rembrandt, like you said, I mean, even though it's been passed down to the family and I don't think whoever has it now realizes the actual value of it.
Yeah.
Hey, she says she'll take 50, so we're golden.
Sweet.
She'll just take 50,000 or 350.
She just wrote 50, so that's
Hey,
really debatable.
$50.
Hey,
Yeah, exactly.
it's live and this is recorded, so we will hold you to that.
Right?
Wouldn't it be so funny if we did get a call and we're like, we're actually going to follow your lead, and Anita will be like, oh my God, did I say 50? I didn't mean 50. Oh, God. It'll pop up on the Antique Roadshow. Anita's cheap. But you know what? To be fair, like if there was, I feel like that could be between the antique shop, the location of the houses, like
Skating rink, and
I mean, maybe that dots could be connected.
I would think so.
Who's got an uncle who's a cop in Boston?
Mhm.
FBI, that's who we need. Who's got FBI connections? We'll work on that.
I might be able to figure that out for us.
Yeah, work on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because my brother works for the he's a helicopter pilot, so he knows people.
Interesting.
There you go.
All right. So in 2 weeks, Denise, you'll have an update on that check.
Yeah. I'll call my brother now.
That was
He
awesome,
knows.
Harlow.
That was great. I loved that one. It was a little bit, slow start because we weren't tapping into actually a specific individual, but and then I was trying to see if George would come through, but he was like, no.
No, yeah.
He wouldn't come through and talk. I mean, he's pretty tight-lipped over there too.
Well, I think we did good and it was fun. We were able to laugh and not cry.
Yes.
So make sure 2 weeks from now we will cry because
Yeah.
it will be a missing persons case.
It will. It will be Amy Bradley.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So no more laughing. Knock it off, you guys. The fun
Hey,
is over.
if we
Well, I
come
think-
into that
I
much
think
money,
Benno
we may
over
not
here,
even-
he's turning Benno's turning into to psychic and getting a little just like, how do you turn it off? So
Yep.
join
Well, we-
Maryam for her meditation.
Will we even be here though if we come into that much money?
Oh God, no. Just kidding.
Okay.
You know what
You
we
know what? Actually, then it would be just super fun.
No, then we could all be in one location doing it. We could do it like in a studio
That
together.
would be so much fun.
That would be
a
really
blast.
fun.
Yeah.
So yes, we would. Of course, we'd still be doing it.
Except the one point about the distance being good is I don't get smacked when I keep asking questions. You can do it.
Okay, wait. Can I say this though? It's so funny, Denise. We've been getting requests for certain cases, right? And I'll send that request over to Harlow. And they come in through DMs or through comments, and I'll send it to Harlow, and Harlow go, "Yeah, but you and Denise didn't want to do it. You said it was too gruesome." And I'm like, "Okay." So then I send another one. She's like, "Yeah, I told you guys, but you and Denise said you didn't want to." And finally, last night, I said, "Stop listening to us. Just
Yeah,
stop."
just tell us what we need to do, because if we're going to get suggestions, we're going to just have to go with, or stop asking.
If we want to do the well-known famous cases, yes. And they're not new, they're older cases, so it's not that terrible.
That's true. And well, it is true. It is true. Like Denise said, like we keep going, tell us in the comments what you want. And they do. And we're like, ew, that's too scary.
Right.
Not that one.
Yeah, you feel my pain.
Okay. So, all right. That was a lot of fun.
You're supposed to be doing meditation.
Oh, I knew something was going on right now.
Besides what we're doing.
So 2 weeks, we'll be back. And we're also going to do an Appalachian series, the like hauntings and true crime of Appalachia.
Cool.
So we've got a lot of fun stuff coming up. Okay, you guys stay for jump on the next link. I'll be there in just a sec for the meditation. Thanks, you guys. That was fun.
Thank you. Bye.
Goodbye.